kilometers an hour.
Good morning. Good evening. What time is it? I'm going to explain something to you. This YouTube video does display a graphic type of thing, and it's pretty serious what I'm going to be putting on YouTube this morning. So if you are under the age of, I say, 19 or other, viewer discretion is advised in this video, very parental-wise. Okay, I found this out recently, but I found it many years ago. I was went down to down there in Oakville. Okay, a meeting house headquarters, my headquarters. Well, anyways, I'm gonna do this video because on this, and what I found out too, the nuns, you know what nuns did in residential school? They totally, in schools that were residential ones, in Mohawk, Institute, and Brantford, they did it there. They even did Regina Monday here in Hamilton when it was up and good one time, and it did glory days too, and it not so glory days, I guess. Well, I can tell you what happened. This is really gross what nuns did. There was a case where a native boy brought into Mohawk Institute and tied him to a robe, and then they did a long search service, and then they turned around and said, "Are you going to talk English?" He refused and talked the native language, Seneca. So they pulled her tongue out, and they forked the tongue. And in his day, he lived to tell about it. He still goes around with forked tongue. He couldn't fix it, but damage beyond control. Well, that's a mean thing I did in Mohawk Institute. Another mean story I heard about out there was that there was one native person passed away, and they didn't just send him back to a Six Nations to be buried in a longhouse. No. The nuns took a very serious thing about it. Took a vanity snap on what the nuns did. Threw the body in a coal-fired furnace in the basement and burned the body. And that's why that's why film I saw Jingle Just Dance where she entered that boiler room, her heavy feeling. That's why that boiler room my whole day is haunted to very extreme paranormal activity in there. So, in the Mohawk Institute, extreme paranormal activity in there. Even I was there, and I even sensed it in there myself. Heaviness, dread. Heaviness, dread. And, I was, once when I had to run in with somebody there to want to do some research, and I was really heaviness and dread in the whole building. I couldn't figure out why. You know what I'm talking about? A lot of heaviness, a lot of dread in that building. Like it's just, misery and dread. Like that's what I sensed in the building. Well, anyways, I don't know how I could sense that, but I'm not a medium, but sometimes I can sense there's something not right in the building, or it feels off, or something's not funny. Like I did it, like it was all in the middle of July, and it was always cold. It was very cold, and the heat was on. I wasn't doing much, Yeah, and the middle of July had the heat going. Huh. So that tells me, yes, paranormal activity in building dicta. Well, the reason why, because the nuns were throwing the dead bodies in the coal furnace, burning them. Matter of fact, there was one case where a nun threw a native person in there who wouldn't speak English, so threw them in the furnace, burned them. She told him you can face the fire of the devil. Here you go, boom. That's what it did, It's not a pleasant thing it did. Not only is it that illegal, but improper burial of anybody. No doubt the residents who did to native people. It came very close to destroying a culture. Destroying a culture of native people. It became very, 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 very close to that. Literally, it's allowed that type of system allowed to proceed. Nobody would know what Indian is. What being native is. Nobody know it. Six Nations Indian just because the native culture had been destroyed. Well, by residential school. But as a result of all this horrible mass, that there not any, another happening in Circuit River, they were electrocuting Indians on electric chair. If they didn't speak English, they got electric. If they had to force to speak English, they didn't refuse to. They were strapped in electric chair, and they were given these electric shocks, and they were horrible ones. There was, a couple of cases in Mohawk where they put them in straitjackets and kept them straitjackets for a very, very long time. Anyway, so another mean thing they did. Well, I can just go out. There are a lot of mean other things they did up there. It's in the history book. So this is a piece of unforgotten history in Canada. And what do you think of my Halloween wig? Blue. Anyways, well, I'm going to do one thing here. Know what that is? Well, I see, I don't mean, a case of that out here out at Redland Academy back when it in the full bloom here in Hamilton. Redland, the old nunnery in Hamilton, a case in there where one of the residents had a baby girl. The nun took it away from her, and what they do, threw a living baby girl in the coal-fired furnace basement, and apparently, and then the body left their remains, and what happened, where all of a sudden, they went to dig up there to build Mary's place, and to build the new building, Good Shepherd, started building apartment, started digging foundation, they dug down to old boiler room, and Redland Academy were buried for all year, coal-fired furnace still buried there, in the building remains. They opened the door and they found a skeletal remains of a baby girl. Apparently had to stop work. Police were called. The coroner came, exhumed the body. They did an autopsy, found out the person was thrown in the coal furnace alive and burned to death alive in a coal furnace, basically. So, and not only that, the nuns are very famous for doing that in the Mohawk Institute, too, for the original people in the coal furnace. They're famous for doing that in many places. Apparently, they investigated. They found out the nun that did that to the girl. They found a nun, had police investigated it, and they found out who it was, Good Shepherd. And had police investigated that, and they found out who it was. You know what they did at the time? When they immediately found out who was the baby girl, the mother that had the baby. The mother, they found out where mother was in living, a senior citizen living in another part of the city, another senior Hamilton. They found out about it. Know what they did? See, actually, what they did, we took her body to Hamilton, reburied it in Hamilton Center with the mother, that 80-year-old mother and present at the time. They also found out the nun was still alive and living in a nursing home and living in St. Joseph Villa in Dundas. So they went out there, they arrested the nun. The nun went to court and was charged with first-degree murder, was sentenced to prison for life, and in first-degree murder and inhumane, just, way of doing that. Not only nun went to jail, the nun, after that, it sparked an investigation into this, and also let in nuns for doing it at Mohawk Institute, Circuit River. They were doing it in all these, many residential schools, nuns were doing the exact same thing. So, know what I said? After that was found out about, they said, after that, they can't do it anymore because the people found out about it. The nun got away with it, thought they got away with it, but some of these nuns are being arrested for it today if we speak, I see YouTube. Anyways, blog over.